Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, everyone. Cryptocurrency Task Force Board. My name is Jefferson Noel. I am a professor at Florida Memorial University, South Florida's only HBCU. In addition to that, I am the founder of Yes, I Believe NFT. I created Yes, I Believe NFT based off of my children's book, Yes, I Believe, to help educate the youth about cryptocurrencies, about the metaverse, about NFTs, to essentially give them first access to this knowledge that will revolutionize the world. And lastly, founder of Barbershop Speaks. I host intelligent discussions inside barbershops and beauty salons. We've been doing it since 2016, and we actually plan on having a series of conversations called Crypto Combos to have conversations in the community about crypto, about NFTs, about Bitcoin, about all of these new technologies that will transform the world. And so I'm excited to be here. I would like to thank Chairman Boldre for the opportunity to share, and I'm delighted to be a part of this revolution. And I hope to connect with anyone in the room, especially the gentleman that spoke before me, to see how we could do some great work in this great city. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Educating the students, especially on crypto. Love your work, and however we can support you, that's what we want to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Would you, one quick thing as well, since you're an educator, you also know, would you volunteer to help teach some of the classes for the students or for the employees?
Absolutely, 100%.
I like that. Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so I think we have one more person. Earl? Yeah, you can come on up. We're gonna cut it after you. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, if I would advise the chair that if anyone else from the public still wishes to speak.
Yeah, this is. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, just that if anyone did not fill out a card and wishes to speak, that they would be afforded the opportunity to do so.
You said that they would?
Yes.
Yeah, yes, of course. That's why I want to, yeah, a lot of people are interested, so I know some people don't quite know the process. We haven't been down here a lot, so they might just come in, and it could be really intimidating. If you come in here for the first time, want to speak in front of everybody, I want to let them know that we are them, and this is the main thing that we're here for, is for all of you, because we are you. Your questions, your desires, your concerns. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Sir, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everybody. My name is Earl Simpson. I'm a real estate broker down here in South Florida. And, I came to the meeting so I can, find out more about what's going on revolving cryptocurrency, especially involving the real estate world. I will say that, before I got into real estate, I was doing T-Mobile, and I saw, the inception of smartphones. I saw the inceptions of the iPad and different technology. And I was there when I had to train people on how to use this technology, and a few years later, the whole world was using it. So as I, got more into crypto, I realized that this was moving at a faster pace than I saw in the cell phone world or in the iPads or whatnot. So, a lot of times, growing up, I would be reactive more than proactive. So, and I also do a men's group. We have close to 100 members. So, since I'm the one really heading it, president, I want to come here, bring back some information, to help spread the word on what's happening, especially with Miami. There's so much development and so much change that's happening down here, and I think it's really crucial that we get ahead of it and that we get more involved in it. So, that's really all I wanted to say. I just want to collect information. If you guys, and I see on the agenda we're going to talk about future things that's to come in this. So, I'm really looking forward to that. That's it.
Excellent. Anybody that's shedding the light of crypto, we support. Thank you so much. I saw you guys put your hand up here. A lady here in the blue and that gentleman. Did you have to come up? And Are you from Dade County? No worries. Okay. All right. We're gonna. Sir, who's that? Sylvia. Okay. How you doing?
Hello, I'm Silvio Pupo, resident of Miami, Alapata specifically. I want to just give you guys a couple of updates since the last meeting a couple weeks ago. A little bit, two things. Just I know that education was mentioned. I'm happy to volunteer. We're hosting monthly events for education already every month, so we might as well try to see if we can do a town hall. And I know as we're considering different thoughts and ideas for employees of the county to be able to accept crypto. One of the projects that is worth looking at, and an initiative that we had about 2 years ago, was to onboard small businesses to be able to have their own digital wallets, and then we'll probably need to do the same for residents. So long term, maybe that doesn't meet the immediate goals of the task force, but it's something to consider that at some point we will need to onboard all residents and small businesses to have their own digital wallets and digital IDs associated to it, integrated to the Florida DMV. So that's that small point, and we'll be having blockchain certifications. We'll want to give a couple of grants away. We're going to start working with Code for South, Code for Miami, and Haitians in Tech. Have gotten some scholarships and work with them to roll out some of the smart city plans that we've been working on the last few years. So that we want to offer that opportunity of grants and scholarships to other people from the community that would love to take it. Of course, government employees can join the GBA for free and take advantage of these things, just like the credit union. And that's the third point that I wanted to dive into today in more detail, is some more speaking points on short-term and long-term and security and fun points of the credit union, and maybe how it could work a little bit more mechanically. So I'll just go ahead and dive in. Short-term, other credit unions and government agencies can have accounts with Maven Federal Credit Union, MFCU. This creates a zero-cost blockchain-based settlement network within the credit union using MFX. So something to consider. MFCU can build a Bitcoin and Ethereum pool with digital asset receipts one-to-one that can be traded between members on the network for free. I think would also help meet the goals of a lot of things we've been espousing of how can we get this, for cheap or as little as possible on service providers, so there's not a big cost. So that's one. Non-members, so people that are not part of the credit union, they would have to redeem the receipts for the Bitcoin or Ethereum for a small fee. By the way, I'm not a Bitcoin purist, so I recommend that in the recommendations we consider something that's not proof of work for consideration. And I'll get a comment on that in the end. MCU wallets can hold digital receipts for these deposits. These asset-backed digital receipts are specifically allowed by National Credit Union Association laws and regulations. Long-term credit union services protocol used by the FCU will reduce costs and start running a credit union to allow even smaller local credit unions to pop up, in some cases even in the neighborhood level. Call my grandma back. Existing credit unions can set up staking funds for community projects that can eventually spin off as a CU branch or credit union branch or a credit union on its own. The people who stake decide what the priorities are. We're seeing some of this happen at the citywide level with the staking that's happening with the Miami coin, but no one really is determining what happens with staking or the proceeds of that. This is one consideration for that, because you can have credit unions nested within credit unions to really think about hyper-local solutions. This creates a blockchain-based sharing branching services. So with existing credit unions, so you don't need a physical credit union, you just leverage what's already there. And this would help transition, let's say, the Miami-Dade County credit union to a blockchain banking core, creating staking pools for non-member participation. On a security front, it's private permission blockchain, internal. Permissionless blockchain for transactions and settlements between the credit unions also is an important part. Everyone is KYC'd, and there's special hardware and software that's been developed for the U.S. Department of Defense. Server company is independent. There is no AWS, Microsoft, or Google. This is a nice advantage. And yeah, those are some of the main points, just food for thought. Just to carry forward a little bit on the proof of work versus proof of stake, and also like how the Treasury, I know we have Treasury Department here in the room, how Treasury can basically take funds or start to hold crypto. Let's say an employee wants to accept crypto or Bitcoin as a payment. But how do we do that in a way that minimizes the risk, let's say, to the Treasury Department to actually have to go into the market and purchase any cryptocurrency? Well, one potential way to do that is simply by enabling your payment portal, where people are already paying their taxes, to be able to pay in crypto or deposit crypto directly, and then that forms an automatic part of your treasury. So you never actually have to go out and buy any cryptocurrency, but you're able to get exposure to cryptocurrency by just accepting it in the treasury, and then you sort of minimize any procurement costs, and you can sort of flow that through to any employees that want to get paid, or just to be able to maintain the reservation of the rate of crypto that are held in deposits at the treasury in any moment in time for inflation purposes or whatever else, right? If you would hold crypto for 1% of your portfolio or 2% over the last 8 years, it'd probably make, that 1% would probably have returned 70% of the portfolio, right? So 1%, I know that there's a state law that prohibits the municipalities from being able to do this. That should also be a conversation for consideration with the blockchain task force at the state level. But in the meantime and in between time, payments could probably be accepted, just any small business or resident that wants to pay, you keep that in treasury and then you have a flow through. That's a little bit of a recommendation. So those are my thoughts. Just thank you for your great work, guys, and happy to answer any questions and think about the next meetups that we can do.
Yes, actually, I'm curious, a couple weeks ago, spoke about the Government Blockchain Association and just some of the, developments that are happening in DC, and then also some of the support or development that they have here in South Florida. And I was wondering if you could speak to that, if they have an event coming out here.
Yeah, there is going to be, I think it's April, if I'm not mistaken, right? April or May. There's going to be an event held at the Mayfair Hotel. In that event, different states that are the most progressive and are doing the most work in blockchain will have their own rooms reserved. So we'll have an entire wing for Florida. So anybody that, and that's an open invitation to everybody that's here and or online. But if anybody that's working here, for example, at the task force, I'd recommend you guys attend. State of Florida wide, right? So we'll be able to have the Florida Blockchain Task Force, local businesses, cryptocurrency companies, blockchain-enabled companies, startups, whatever. But it'll all be focused in and around Florida. So if there's any proposals or any suggestions that we should think about taking to Capitol Hill to exemplify or talk about and highlight what's being done in Florida, this would probably be a good time to do it. And there'll be other members of probably Congress and Senate there. So, if, we have, of course, Florida legal considerations, but if we have to think about other regulatory issues that might need bills or something to be passed to enable what we're doing locally, that would probably be a good time to do it.
Actually, that reminds me, I know that there was a bill to extend the time on the FinTech Sandbox here in Florida. Do you have any updates on that, or any news to share?
No, I'm not. I think that the report of the sandbox, I think it's still going to be open, but I don't think that they're closing that anytime soon. I think it's still $15,000 or $25,000.
Do we know anybody do we know anyone who's in Miami that's successfully gone through it or part of it?
I believe one of the members of your task force is Jorge Cortez, I think, has applied with, I think Jorge's company, one of his companies, I think, applied for it. And that is under the OFR, the Office of Financial Regulation. There are members of the GBA that are part of the OFR and are in Miami, if you want to have those conversations with them.
We would.
Yeah. So that's also something else to consider.
That's good. Okay, I'll mark that down. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, so this concludes our